Iverson.
And we are here today to talk to you a little bit about Summit and some of the questions that have come up about Summit in the last year or so. It's a brand new initiative that we started last September, and it's really been off to a great start. But there's some questions, so that's what today's all about. We're going to try to answer some of those for you. So just first, at the most basic level, Summit started last year as an opportunity for students to come together outside of a religious education class or maybe a theology class at a high school, just to dig into their faith a little bit more, learn a little bit more outside of those environments, and learn how to apply what they're learning in those environments into their everyday lives. So most importantly, we are not replacing religious education or theology, anybody.
Absolutely not.
We are here just to have fun together with students and just really help them build up a community of young people, a community of peers with trusted adult leaders that can help them live out their lives in a faith-filled way. So one of the most important things, I think, is some data that we came across.
Yeah. So this most recent data that we saw from high schools across Wisconsin shows the deep need that students have for genuine connection. In the 2023 Wisconsin Youth Risk Behavior Survey, which surveyed 1,900 students in 42 private and public schools throughout the state, this data was found. That 59% of students who responded to this survey have struggled with anxiety, depression, or suicidal ideation in the last year.
Mm-hmm. And 53% of students agree or strongly agree that they belong at their school, which is actually a dramatic decrease. Just 2 years ago, it was 70%. That's nearly half of students that don't feel like they belong at their school.
Yeah, that is terrible news. Participation in extracurricular activities showed lower levels, though, of anxiety and depression and higher levels of belonging. Summit fills that need for belonging and that desire for belonging and offers outlets for students to build relationships with peers and adults.
One of the things about this survey that I really appreciate is the section where students could free-form answers. They could just fill in some comments or questions that they had. And I just want to share a couple of those with all of you and just point out a couple things. So here's a quote from one of the first students. "People around my age that you consider Gen Z are struggling. We are all having to deal with these expectations of our age group while having to act our part in a dying society. We are rapidly becoming the most depressed and zombied age group of all. The technology you have built has given us more self-hatred, unachievable expectations, new mental illnesses, and has crushed our sense of communication. Please understand that we are trying our best to find ourselves, and it is difficult when the world that we look up to can be so cruel and we feel we need to go through it alone." And there's a couple things in there that I want to talk about specifically. One of the things the student mentioned is it crushes their sense of communication. And what we strive to do at Summit is provide an opportunity every week for students just to detach from electronics or whatever it is they've got going on and just join in. Join in the fun, join in the games. There's no way you're going to be good at these games. They're crazy.
Totally random games.
They are so random, but it's really fun. It really breaks down some of those barriers that students come in with if they've come alone or they don't know anybody or they don't feel like they've been good at games or whatever. It breaks all that down. There's no need to worry about not fitting in. Everyone belongs, everyone participates, and students really get to know each other.
Yeah. Another need that was pointed out, Meredith, in that quote you just read was the need for students to be able to find themselves. Summit offers the opportunity for intentional prayer and even just quiet reflective time for students to contemplate what's going on in their daily, oftentimes over media-filled lives.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that student mentioned, so many things, we're backed into there, but the third thing is we need to go through it alone. And I cannot stress this enough, whether you're an adult or a young person, nobody is going through this alone. Summit is providing a community and a group of young people that's supported by young adult missionaries, leaders like ourselves, and we're really trying to help support those students in their life, but also in their faith journey. We have witness talks every single week that talk about where God is moving in our lives, and we try to help students understand where God is moving in their lives. Even if they don't feel it, sometimes that's hard to understand, but all of us together can help each other figure that out. Nobody's doing this alone. We want everybody to feel like they've been seen, they've been heard, and we know them.
Yeah. We're all in this together, right?
It's a good song.
Another quote that came out of this survey is, students that do well in school don't always have perfect mental health. These students need somewhere to go to recharge and take a break from school. And Summit certainly is not a mental health support group, but it is a place where students can have contact with peers outside of their school environment. While whether that school environment is a public school, a private school, like a Catholic school, or a homeschool group, all students need genuine peer and adult connections in their lives.
Mm-hmm. And then the third quote, this is the last one that we're going to share from a student. I have people that I can talk to if I'm feeling anxious, but I don't want to bother them in case that they're busy. I also have social anxiety. I usually talk to myself and work it out on my own.
That just doesn't work very well, I don't think.
I am
Meredith.
always right.
Yeah,
in my
right.
mind.
The conversations that happen at Summit, whether during games, in small group conversations, or even after the night has ended, as we're all just kind of hanging out, they really roll out the red carpet for students to share what's on their minds in a way that's comfortable and safe for them. There are definitely nights when we're talking about relationships and sports, but there are also many nights when we're talking deeply about the questions of faith and God and how God and faith interact with our day-to-day lives and why that matters. Again, we want to be sure that no student is going through life alone.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so those are a couple of the things that have come up. We've heard from parents over the last few months about just questions that they have, so hopefully that was helpful to you. Throughout the summer, we have a couple dates where we're meeting together, just fun, casual hangouts. We met for ice cream yesterday. It was a pretty good time.
And board games.
And board games. It was so good. It was really nice. So we'll do that a few more times through this summer, but then we're going to kick off our regular Tuesday night meetings. Tuesday, September 9th. It's at 7:04.
7:04 p.m.
As it always is. So all are welcome. We'd love to have as many people show up and try it out. That would be fantastic to have you. And yeah, it's definitely a come when you can.
Bring who you want.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll see you at Summit.
See you at Summit.